All right, today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to deconstruct how a high-end limo service in Chicago actually sells itself. We're going to see how they sell not just a ride, but an entire feeling, a promise. And the best part? We're going to use their own words, their own marketing, to see how they pull it off.
So let's just jump right in with a big question to get us started. When you hire a luxury car service, what are you really buying? Is it just a way to get from point A to point B, or is it something more? It's really about the gap between just getting somewhere and truly arriving. And let's meet our case study for today. HareLimoServices. They come out swinging with this massive claim to be the best and most trustworthy in all of Chicago. That's a huge promise, right? So let's see how they actually try to sell that idea. So how do they even begin to back up a claim like that? Well, what's so interesting is that they don't really lead with stuff like car models or how much it costs. Nope. Their entire pitch is built around creating an experience, one that taps into three key feelings. And what are those feelings? Well, here they are: luxury, comfort, and prestige. Think of these as the three pillars holding up their entire brand promise. So we're going to take them one by one and see exactly how they build their case for each. All right, first up, luxury. Now, this is the big one, right? It's the most obvious part of a limo service. But what does luxury even mean in this context? It's about so much more than just a fancy car. It's about crafting a very specific feeling from the moment you book to the moment you step out. And they do not mince words about it. I mean, check out this quote. This is basically their mission statement in a nutshell. When they say every element screams luxury and class, they're telling you that nothing is left to chance. Every detail is intentional. So how in the world do you make a service scream luxury? Well, according to them, it really boils down to two key things: the human touch, the person behind the wheel, and of course, the physical environment of the car itself. Okay, so let's talk about the first piece of that puzzle, the professional chauffeur. And I want you to notice that word, chauffeur, not just driver. This isn't just a random choice of words, folks. Chauffeur implies a whole different level of service than just driver. And this is where it gets really fascinating. They frame the chauffeur not just as someone who knows the roads, but as your personal concierge. This person is your key to the city, the one who knows all the hot spots. It totally transforms the ride from just a passive trip into a really valuable, interactive experience. Now, you can have the best chauffeur in the world, but if the car isn't up to snuff, the whole luxury promise kind of falls apart, right? So that brings us to the second component: the vehicle itself and all the amenities inside. And wow, they really load up the amenities to make their point. Think about it: a full bar, a TV, even strobe lights. These are not just random perks. They are tools that literally transform the car from just a car into your own private lounge on wheels. It could be your office, your pre-party spot, whatever you need it to be. Okay, so we've got luxury down. Now let's move on to that second pillar: comfort. If luxury is about feeling classy and exclusive, comfort is all about feeling at ease. And just like with luxury, they define comfort as being way more than just a soft seat. So they get pretty smart about this. They actually break down the idea of comfort into two different categories. There's the physical comfort of the actual ride, and then there's the practical comfort, which is really all about convenience and peace of mind. And here's the magic, right? It's how these two things play off each other. So on one hand, you've got the physical stuff, the nice leather chairs, the perfect temperature, a smooth ride. But on the other hand, and this might be even more important, all the mental stress of travel is just gone. No worrying about traffic, no navigation, no stress. It's total comfort. All right, that leads us to the third and final pillar. And honestly, this one might be the most powerful of all: prestige. This is less about how you feel on the inside of the car and all about the impression you make and the message you're sending to everyone on the outside. And they don't beat around the bush on this point at all. They say it right here. They're basically telling you this is a tool for managing how people see you. That charm and prestige is something you're buying to be seen and felt by others. And this slide just lays it all out, plain and simple. It's the difference between a standard arrival and a prestige arrival. On one side, you've got the normal way of doing things, a taxi, a rideshare, but then look at the other side. You're not just arriving at a meeting. You're getting out of a limo to highly impress people. It's not just about getting there, it's about making an entrance. So what's the real key takeaway here? It's that they're positioning this service as a straight-up business tool. It's an investment in your company's image, a way to signal to clients and competitors that you operate on a different level.
So, okay, we get the big picture now, right? Luxury, comfort, prestige. That's the feeling they're selling. But how do they actually deliver on all that in the real world? Let's dig into their FAQ for a second and look at the nuts and bolts that make it all happen. Naturally, the first thing you'd want to know is, so what kind of cars are we actually talking about here? Because the ride you pick has to match the vibe you're going for and the statement you want to make.
And you can see here they've got a whole menu of options, and each one is for a very different purpose. A sleek corporate SUV for an airport run sends a totally different message than, say, a full-blown party bus for a celebration. Each vehicle is a specific tool for a specific job. And then we have a super practical, straightforward question. Just how many people can you actually fit in one of these things?
So for a classic stretch limo, you're looking at anywhere from 9 to 14 people. It's a simple number, but it's important, right? It brings all that big talk about luxury and prestige back down to the practical reality of, okay, but will all my friends fit?
So when you put this all together, it really makes you think, and it leaves us with one final big question. This whole case study just goes to show, a service like this isn't just selling a ride. They're selling an image, an experience, a feeling. And that kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? The next time you buy any service, what are you really paying for? The thing itself or the feeling that comes with it?